This is TWiT.
So let's move on to what I think is one of the biggest stories of last week. Apple Music is coming to Echo devices. This is very exciting and super interesting because everyone's saying like, oh, Amazon and Apple are now friends. But it really makes you think if Apple really just at some point just realized they're selling more Apple Music subscriptions than they are HomePods. I looked at the numbers a little bit. At last check, there's around 50 million Apple Music subscribers and also 50 million Echo devices. So it's like around the same number. Andy, what do you think about Apple Music coming to the Echo?
That's a really, really big deal. One of my usual complaints about Apple is that it's not impressive to me that Apple's created an Apple service that runs on Apple hardware that's running Apple operating systems. The big deal is when you try to make something that appeals to everybody, even the people who paid $29 on Black Friday to get this cute little Echo Dot. So for everyone who's subscribing to Apple Music, it makes the product that much more valuable, that now that they can use it on the stuff that they've already got and not have to spend $350 just to listen to their playlists in the kitchen while they're cooking. So yeah, it's a huge, huge step for the usability of Apple Music, and I hope that Apple starts to fail in more hardware segments so that they start to open up like iMessage and they start to open up other things to other users, because they have great stuff, and I just wish that people who've either not chosen or can't afford Apple hardware could get access to these wonderful software and services.
Renee, what do you think?
I mean, Apple Music has historically been different from Apple. When they first launched it, they bought it from Beats and it ran on iOS and Android. And to the surprise of some, Apple didn't cancel the Android part of it. They actually deployed a whole new Apple Music version for Android. And I think the thinking at the time was there are going to be people who get a family plan for this, and they are going to be cross-device, multi-device households. They'll have some iOS people, some Android people, and it creates better value for them if they can play it on any of the devices, regardless of what the kids have, what the parents has, all of that. And I think this is very much that, but taken to the new level of popularity that home assistants have. And if you get an Apple Music plan and you have a HomePod, or you don't, you have iPhones, but you also have Echoes, this just makes that plan way more valuable to you. And I think it behooves Apple and their position in the market to make Apple Music, especially family plans, not just as convenient, but as good an experience as possible for people.
So do we all subscribe to Apple Music?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah. And Spotify?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Alex just recently convinced me to subscribe to Spotify because I just did the numbers and I thought, like, I'm not able to listen to the music that I want to listen to on all of my Echo devices. And, really another $10 a month isn't that big of a deal. But now I feel like, why would I have it at all? Because I know how to transfer my playlist back and forth. I mean, is there any reason to keep? Are you guys going to keep Spotify, the two of you that still have it?
I still haven't figured out. I have a lot of playlists on Spotify, and I have yet to get one playlist that has more than 100 songs get from Spotify to Apple Music successfully. With all the different import tools, I'm like, how hard could this be? It's a band. It's not even like that rare. It's a band and a song, but evidently that's a very complicated thing for these guys to do. And so I haven't completely changed over. There's something about the Spotify playlist building process that I find, and I can't quite put my finger on it, that I just find more seamless, and I can't exactly figure out. So I have a tendency not to think that I'm going to do it. Mostly for me, Apple Music is so that I can just say, "Hey, play this." That's the service that I needed to do, and it seems to do that pretty well. But I don't build any lists there.
I feel like Spotify thinks I'm cooler than I really am. Like the music that it recommends to me is like, oh, that sounds good. Whereas, I don't know, maybe just Apple Music and iTunes is so, like, my recommendations are so old, it'll still be like a lot of music that I made my kids listen to, or that my kids made me listen to. So that is, just suddenly Meghan Trainor pops up a lot. And I just feel like that's not me. I mean, it might be me, but it's not the me that I want to project to the world. Spotify knows.
Well, I think that's interesting. Yeah, I think that's interesting because I don't listen to anything that it recommends. Like, I mean, I don't ever try. I mean, I guess I have all these playlists, and if I hear a song, and I think this is why Apple was good. It was a good buy to buy Shazam. If I hear a song that I like at Starbucks or at somewhere else, or I'm someone's playing it on a car, I'll Shazam it, but then I put it into my Spotify list. But I don't really expect Spotify I'm not like I never was one of those people that liked Pandora. I don't really need I guess I'm too picky. I'm too like I don't like that. And so it's never really worked for me to go down that path.